we're going to take a look at what to do if you have issues logging into your ClickFunnels account. Now, the first thing that you're going to do if you have problems logging in, and let's go over here to member login right here, and we'll start to go to the login screen, is you'll want to click on forget your password. So you're going to type in your email address that you use for registration. And remember that if for some reason you do not see a password reset in your inbox, the first thing that you'll want to do is check your spam folder or also your junk mail folder, because it is possible, especially if you're using Gmail, for it not to land in your inbox. So it means that it was sent, most likely it was sent from ClickFunnels, but getting into your inbox is a different story, because these email systems will sometimes think that something that is legit, like a password reset, is spam. So make sure that you check spam folder and also your junk mail folder. The other thing is that be sure that you're using the right email address. We see this a lot of times where somebody thinks that they registered with a specific email address, because I myself have a lot of different email addresses. So it's easy to do for someone to forget like which email address they actually use when they signed up for ClickFunnels. And that starts a whole bunch of panic when somebody puts in an incorrect email address and they're just like, what's going on? I know that I created the account. So make sure that you try several different email addresses that you might have, especially when you do the password reset and you're not seeing that email going to your spam or junk mail folder. So when you click on this here, it'll say resetting the password. Well, I'm not going to get anything because the email address in there was not a correct email address. So it's not going to send that to me. Now, the other thing is that sometimes, let's go to this right here and see if I can get it to do this right here. So I'm going to create an account, see how far it lets me get. Okay. So I've entered in my name, my email address, and a password. And hopefully I'm going to remember the password that I just typed in. So here's something that we see a lot of times is that this email address has been taken by another user. Please try a different one. You're like, well, wait a minute, you know? So what's happening here is that I actually created an account months ago that is no longer active, but it had this email address. So ClickFunnels is telling me that, no, this is somebody else's email address. So if for some reason you run into this and you want to use, like, let's say I want to use this specific email address, then what I would do is I would get in touch with ClickFunnels, because I no longer have access to the account, and ask them to give me temporary access to that account. And then I would log into that account and I would change the email address in the account settings to something totally different. And then ClickFunnels will, depending on how they set it up, they might set it up to cancel again, or I might have to like contact them and say, I've done this, so now can you cancel it again? And then that way now you would be able to go in and have access to the email address to use this email address. So let me try something different here. Hopefully I didn't use this one. Same thing. You can see that I've created a few accounts that I no longer use here. Let's see. There we go. We have success. Okay. So this is taking me into the account, into my billing information. And it's going to ask me if I want to join the One Funnel Away Challenge, and then also get information from me to get a free t-shirt from ClickFunnels. But let's just say it's late at night and I don't have my credit card with me, so I'm just going to close out of this. I don't want anything to do with this. Now, let's go back here, and in my mind, I think that I've create an account because maybe I just thought I did, and I go back to ClickFunnels the next day and I get this screen and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wait, I created an account. Why is this asking me for my billing information again? You know? Or you might see this screen also if you have created an account and then you go in and you create a second account. So I've got like maybe Dennis at DennisJSmith.com. And then I've created this account at info@funnelyourway.com. And for some reason, I think that this is the account, the email address, and I forget that it's actually the other one. And I start to panic because I'm like, wait a minute, I already went into my account. I already created an account. And why am I seeing this screen? Well, you're seeing this screen because you're not using the email address that's associated with your account. So keep that in mind as you're logging in, that if you see this and you know for sure, then stop and go back. You can actually, on this one, if you have to, because this is cookied in, meaning that it's going to go to this page regardless of how many times you type in ClickFunnels now. But in your browser, you can go here. This is Firefox. It's different for Chrome. Opera is another one that I use, and many people use Safari for Apple. You can go into private window, and this takes away those cookies. So if I go to ClickFunnels.com, now I have this screen back right here, and I can go here and I can put in like, okay, I think I use Dennis at DennisJSmith.com. And then you would type that in. Or if you don't remember the password, you can click on forget your password. Now, you can always contact ClickFunnels support or customer service. You actually want to use the customer service ticket, because support is not going to handle password resets. And so if you make this look like a support issue, then it's going to go into a queue, because ClickFunnels uses a ticketing system for customer service and support. And depending on how busy that queue is, especially on Mondays, you might have to wait a while for somebody to get back with you on the password reset. So first of all, make sure that it goes to customer service. But keep in mind these tips first by doing a forgot your password. Think about, like, is this really the email address that I use for my account? And let me go ahead and close out of this here. What I would recommend is a tool called LastPass. And I use this because I sometimes forget my password because I use a lot of different online services, including ClickFunnels. So I need to have something to actually help me with my maintaining my passwords. Plus, keeping those passwords secure too is important to prevent others from getting access to your account. So you can get a free account right here with LastPass, and you just fill this out. And then what it does is it's got an extension for Firefox and Chrome and probably some of the others. And when you log in, let me see if I can, I'm not sure if I have LastPass on Opera though. Let's see. Okay, so I don't, but this is actually another issue that people have when logging in to ClickFunnels, is that browsers like Opera and Chrome will remember your login and password. So they'll put this in, and then it populates the password, even though that you can't see it there. You could if you clicked on Manage Passwords. So remember that. If for some reason you get an error message when you try to log in, let's mess it up some here so we get an error message. So it's got invalid email or password, and you're like, well, why is it doing that? Because I'm pretty sure that that's my password. Well, you can't see your password. So for some reason, it could be off. And so what I would suggest is stop right there so you don't get locked out. ClickFunnels doesn't lock you out but other ones will lock you out if you have too many attempts at a wrong password, is to go in and click on Manage Passwords here to make sure that you've got the right password. Let me go to Chrome. I'm pretty sure this is where I have LastPass installed. I'm pretty good most of the time with my passwords, but this is a tool that I just recommend for those to make it easier, because that way you're not going to get frustrated when you get locked out, or not really locked out, but for some reason you can't log into your ClickFunnels account. You need to have access so that you can continue working on your funnels and do whatever you need to do. Well, I am not sure if I have LastPass on here still. I'll have to go back and install it again. I don't want Chrome. I want ClickFunnels is what I want. That's LastPass right there, so I do have it. So hopefully I'll be able to show you how this works. And I can go into the vault. Okay, so here's LastPass right here. It puts these on the side right here. And it has all of my different ClickFunnels accounts. Only this one is my active account. And so when I click on it, it should fill it in with the right password. Again, if you get an error message, double check it in LastPass to make sure that it's saved your correct password. And then you should be able to click on sign in. And if it works right, which it's not, because it's taking me to the first step. Oh, because I think I made a mistake. I clicked on the sign in button or sign up button. So that's my bad. There. So now it's going to fill it in. And if I click on the right button there, we have success, because we can already see up there in the address bar. And voila, we've got my ClickFunnels account. So if you're somebody who maybe has a problem with remembering passwords, I know as I get older that I have so many passwords that I have to use a tool like this, or keep them in Google Docs somewhere where they're secure, so that I can remember important passwords in case I forget them. So hopefully some of these tips that I've gone over will help make things less frustrating for you if for some reason you have problems logging into your ClickFunnels account. Thanks for watching, and I hope you take a look at my other videos.